This is Scott Spears, Classic Championship Wrestling head announcer, here in the Christmas Classic Wrap-Up Control Center. My goodness, December 21st, 2013 proved to be just the epic event that we all said it would be. Probably the biggest event, the biggest assemblance of wrestling talent in the Midwest in recent history. Took place last night, December 21st, here in Marion, Ohio. CCW Classic Championship Wrestling put it on. And before we get to the wrap-up of that amazing card, I want to let you know that you can become a fan of Classic Championship Wrestling and tell all your friends, because your friends' friends will want to be your friend once they find us on Facebook and become a part of this great organization. It is Classic Championship Wrestling Marion, Ohio. You type that in on Facebook, do a search, click like, and you'll find us, all these videos and all this great entertainment value that sports entertainment has. Last night's Christmas Classic started off with a bang. We had a great match as Uncle Hog defeated Chris Payne in a very highly contested match. Both of those gentlemen very strong, very powerful. Then we moved into a classic wrestling match with Precious Paul being defeated by Halo. Bobby Watson in Precious Paul's corner last night went home with the short end of the stick. One of the big surprises last night in that four-way dance, we had that Texas Tornado four-way match crowning a wild card champion. Roulette crowned the first ever wild card champion, and we'll talk more about him later on because he proved to be a wild card last night in other situations, not just the wild card match. We had legends on hand last night, and three of those legends were involved in one of the biggest matches I've seen in my entire career, and I'm sure others would say the same. It was Ox Baker, the original, not Junior, the original Mr. Fantastic, big, mean, and ugly man who's killed two men in the ring. Ox Baker stepped back in the ring last night to face the son of Bobo Brazil Jr. in a trash can match. The wild card in this match turned out to be legendary manager, the man who managed Black Angus and 8-time world champion Percival A. Friend, stepped into the corner of Ox Baker, returned to a managerial position, tam, hat, and all. And by the way, he joined me on commentary last night for most of the program. You'll want to get a copy of this DVD because his commentary, whew, what a fountain of misinformation that guy is. It took me all night to unravel his lies. But back to that epic contest. The feud between Baker and Brazil certainly did not end, as Brazil defeated Baker. But what happened was, and I want to try to describe this, there was so much going on in this match. The referee went down. He was taken down by Ox. I think on purpose. You'll have to see the videotape at some point, which is why you have to buy this DVD. Referee taken out by Ox Baker. Percival Friend jumped in the ring. Ox Baker secured Bobo's hands and arms. Percival went into his pocket, pulled out a can of shaving cream. The menthol shaving cream, which any man, woman, or child knows if you put it in your eyes is going to burn like crazy. He went to blind Bobo Brazil Jr. Bobo ducked, and he shot it into the rather large eyes and eyebrows of his own man, Ox Baker, causing Ox to fall down, roll out of the ring. Percival Friend received a cocoa butt that put a knot on the side of his head, the size of Ohio. Percival ended up in the trash can, was pinned, and then the referee counted Percival down as Bobo went on top. Bobo didn't realize who he was pinning. The ref didn't realize who was in the trash can. It was a chaotic scene. last night at the Christmas Classic. Then we went on to the Demon Khan Tom McLean match, in which Terry Tackett ended up having to give Demon Khan a contract. The match stipulated that if Demon Khan was defeated, he would retire from wrestling. If Tom McLean won, if Tom McLean won, Demon Khan would have to retire from wrestling. If Demon Khan won, he would get a contract with Classic Championship Wrestling. It looked as if Tom McLean had the victory sewed up last night, and then here comes Roulette and GDT in Lockdown. Lockdown attacked both men. We don't really know why. He's now on probation for it. GDT and Roulette, the newly crowned wildcard champion, enter the match, helped Demon Khan win, and then a man came on the scene who you have seen in other wrestling promotions. You'll have to buy the DVD to see this. It was unreal. He had just wrestled for another wrestling promotion in this city less than 2 weeks ago. It was why is he here? I don't know. But he's picking a fight with President Terry Tackett, trying to put him out of business with Demon Khan. Then came one of the most hard-hitting battle royals you'll ever want to see. You want to talk about deadly drawing? It certainly was. Some of the participants: 500-pound Uncle Hogg, Bobo Brazil Jr., Lockdown, so many, Tom McLean, Demon Khan, Roulette, GDT. The match was filled, and a major surprise, in the middle of this match, the crowd exploded. I couldn't hear myself think, as Super Oprah, one of the biggest attractions in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky, in the last few years, shows up as a surprise entrance, and that she, I don't even know what to say, made a gigantic impact in that battle royal, although she did not win. Although, I think we're going to see him in the future of Classic Championship Wrestling. I wouldn't be a bit surprised at all. But who won that battle royal, became the first Classic Championship Wrestling World Champion? You won't believe this. There was a mystery man. We didn't know who it was. He drew number 13. Unlucky, lucky number 13. Turned out to be lucky 13 because the man who drew number 13 won that battle royal, became the first CCW World Champion. It was Ox Baker. The legend, Mr. Fantastic, is currently our world champion, becoming the oldest champion in the history of wrestling. Guinness Book of World Records, oldest champion, legend in the history of wrestling, Ox Baker. Can you believe that? It happened last night. We made history all around the world, wrestling history. You can believe that. Then we moved on to what can only be called one of the hardest hitting, bruising battles you've ever seen. Lockdown versus Bobo Brazil Jr. in a wild card match to become the #1 contender for Ox Baker's new title. It was a bull rope match. It was as hard hitting as you want to be. Bobo Brazil Jr. was the winner, which certainly will continue the feud with Ox Baker and Bobo Brazil. This wrap up gets me out of breath just talking about it. It was fantastic. Percival Friend, I'm going to see you at the announce table again, I know, you fountain of misinformation. And Ox Baker, you devious, dastardly man, you're the world champion. I don't know how long that reign will go, but you made history last night, my friend. Bobo Brazil Jr., one of the hardest hitting people on the face of God's green earth. I know we're going to see him again, and he certainly is going to be a force to be reckoned with in Classic Championship Wrestling. I wouldn't be surprised a bit if one day he's winning that world title. Demon Khan, I don't know where he goes from here. Roulette, GDT, 500-pound Uncle Hogg. It's a roster that is unparalleled. Could we see Super Oprah again? I have no idea. I know I want to wish you a happy holiday. I had a great time at the Christmas Classic. You gotta follow us. We're Classic Championship Wrestling. We're #1 in sports entertainment in Marion, Ohio. Please, please, please join us in the future. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas to all. And for me, Scott Spears, this is a good night.
See, that gives me ammunition also.
This is the wrap-up show for the CCW Christmas Classic. I'm still out of breath. This is Scott Spears, CCW head announcer with president of the organization, Terry Tackett. Terry, it was there's so much to talk about, but certainly the thing first and foremost in everybody's mind is the winner of the Battle Royal. My God, it was Ox Baker.
He would have been. He's the most least likeliest choice that I ever thought would have won this battle. I would have never believed in a million years that Ox Baker would be the champion of my company.
The organization that you run now is headlined world champion by one of the most devious, big, mean, and ugly guys in the history of the business.
Just a second, Scott. What do you mean he wouldn't have bet anything on me? I've been in this business 40 years. I know all the e's and outs and ups and downs. Of course, I should have been a champion a long time ago, and I'm going to be champion a long time. He'll probably try to find somebody, because I heard he's looking for talent. I even see he interfered in a couple of matches there. I almost had to backhand him. He got everybody excited. One old woman said, God, I thought it was at the time of the month. Why is he so worked up? And then he comes out and said, I wouldn't have bet on Ox Baker. A lot of other guys, I'd have bet on Bobo or the big farm boy. Who's the farm boy? I'd have bet on him. No way. And you know what? He said, I'll find somebody somewhere to beat him, and I'll be right at ringside. I'll be the first guy to laugh and say, I told you so.
Are you going to be an active champion?
Well, I'm going to try. I might, like I said, I'm into a talent search. And the night, the best talent was his assistant announcer. And if he's the best, we got a long way to go. But we're going to work hard at it. And the belt is still around my waist. And I want to thank my manager for coming all them miles. I even put him over in a cribbage game because I didn't want him going home sulking like he. But I'm the champion, like it or not, and I don't care who you'd have bet. You should have bet on me.
Ox Baker.
In a million years would I bet on Ox Baker.
Big, mean, ugly.
And I want to know who was in that dress. It looked like a girl I'd taken out a couple of weeks ago, you know. And she's ditched me a long time ago. I didn't know where she'd went, but she stole the whole show in that ring. I mean, she did some moves I couldn't believe myself, and she tore the place up. And I'm only glad I had to kick her out because she didn't want to feed me, you know.
Is the Bobo Brazil feud dead? Ox, he beat you again.
Well, we'll put it this way, somewhere down the line, we're going to solve that one way or another. Because I know he's going to, what do you say, he's the president? The president is going to look around, he's going to find somebody to try to beat Mr. Fantastic. And he should sign that girl Rosalind, because she did steal the show, you know, even though I think she should have washed her clothes before she got in the ring.
I want to talk about this, Ox. Some people didn't realize this is an extra. When you went back to the ring for that trash can match, you had a piece of paper stuck on your shoe. Did you notice that?
Well, I don't know. I was so embarrassed. I was trying to show him that I had that he'd been put over there. My poor manager, he got a knot on the back of his head, and he had to suffer that. I apologize to him and he's the reason that wrestling is the way it is. He always gives that 115%.
Ox Baker, the new CCW world champion. Can you imagine that?
Find me somebody.